My name is James Scruggs, and the piece is called The Deepest Man on Earth, and the title refers to the title given to the man who dives underwater with no breathing apparatus for the most length down under and the most time. And the record right now is about 9 minutes for a man to be underwater, to hold their breath, and for diving it's about 300 feet, so it's pretty amazing. Actually, I'm a survivor from the World Trade Center. I worked on the Windows on the World, at the Windows on the World on the 106th and 107th floor, and it was a huge disaster, and everybody who lost someone spoke so highly of them. And I started wondering, like, what happened to the people who were in abusive relationships and they lost someone, and they were glad that they lost someone. And that's sort of how the piece started, about people who were caught up in a catastrophe, in an abusive relationship, and took advantage of the fact that there was a catastrophe around them to murder their loved one. And it happens in disasters. Like in Katrina, there's a phenomenon called misdemeanor murderers, people who committed murder and they got away with it. It's a lot longer than. What happens when I read when I'm looking for or when I'm open to new ideas, I read a lot, mostly newspapers, and I find out things and I get inspired by things I don't know anything about. Like for this particular piece, it's about water and Katrina and dogma and religion and the Bible and Christianity. It's a lot of stuff, but I didn't know very much about any of it, so I got a chance to really just research it. So my process is a lot about research. Because I believe as a writer you have to write what you know, but because of the internet you can learn a lot of stuff and then know it, and then you can actually write it. So and I'm showing a stage reading, so it's still evolving. So I just finished a draft that I'm happy with, so hopefully people will come and see it and they'll be happy with it too, or have problems with it. I'm okay with that too. I want them to walk away with asking questions. At the core of the piece is a guy who's completely delusional, but everything that he espouses, everything he talks about, is actual fact. He talks these things. It sounds completely delusional, talking about the fact that water, regular water, has consciousness, and water has memory, and water can restructure you. And it sounds completely crazy, but it's actually fact. So that's in my piece. The man who's delusional is actually speaking what is known in a lot of scientific circles to be fact. Big challenge is that it's it's 4 narratives that are woven together, and one of the challenges is to keep it simple enough to get. And we just had a rehearsal, and I discovered what the piece was about. I was like, oh my God, I know what it's about now. I would say dark.